Welcome to this episode of Chattin with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today I got Jamie Tall.
And I feel like that was really when just like the floodgates opened up and like my whole life changed really after that. I was very like dedicated to working a program. I did 12 steps. I've done them in every aspect in all of the fellowships. So I was really big into like the 12 steps because it brought me this sense of like healing. And
Yeah,
then I added to that getting baptized and having this connection with God, and it was just amazing. And I was very involved. I actually stayed at that sober living for 3.5 years. So we had like because it was like such a big campus, we had different apartments. So once I got to like 18 months, I had my own apartment, and it was just small. I mean, it could have been a jail cell. You know what I mean? It was
yeah,
like
yeah.
cement floors, cement walls, but it was mine, And I ended up pursuing a career as a massage therapist, and so started my own company. And I was still living, in the sober living. So it was like I really just took this time. I remember I took it was a period of like 18 months, and I remember I had this sponsor, and she was so hard on me. And I just like got so frustrated with her, and I was like, she's so controlling, like,
Yeah,
ah.
every decision you're making is the wrong one,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
um and like finally, like at one point I was like, fine, Lisa, I'll do it your way, and so I took this like 18-month period, and I literally started pouring into Jamie. I started working on me, and I started building my business, and I started working on fitness and exercise and like spirituality and helping others, and it was so amazing in that 18 months how much my life changed. It was incredible how much my life changed. So I will be forever grateful for that woman for being so hard and stern on me, because she was right. And I always tell people, like, that is the biggest thing. Like, if you would just take a year and a half. I know it sounds like a long time to not date and not get distracted and not go, follow the crowd. But I'll tell you, in that 18 months, I started my own business. I was able to get a townhouse. I became a recovery coach with Georgia Council for Recovery. I created a massage protocol for people in recovery and implemented it into nonprofits. This one specific nonprofit that helps women come out of prostitution, human trafficking, and women in recovery. Today, I get to teach massage therapy students in the local massage school how to do that specific protocol for trauma informed massage, and they do it in the nonprofit, so it's like multiplication, which is
Yeah.
really cool. um yeah, and just my business, I've won, gosh, 3 years in a row, I've won awards for my business, best of the best for the city, Google, all these different awards and achievements. I've won awards for community service for Georgia Council for Recovery. I have a YouTube channel. I am, in ministry and equipping and training women. I teach a trauma informed discipleship at a church here in Athens. And just God just is using me. Every single piece that was broken and everything that I went through is now a testimony for me to share with other people, and how to get well, and how to thrive in recovery. A lot of people think like, oh, you come into recovery and your life is over and it's not fun anymore.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I came
Me too.
in.
I thought the same thing. You can't drink no more. You can't do drugs. I'm just going to be sitting there all by myself. It's not fun, but
Hmm.
that's not the case. I got a whole new life. It's totally different.
Totally different, yes. And you can do anything you want to do, anything. Like, I literally was like, one day I was like, I think it would be really cool to make this protocol for massage for people in recovery to help with relapse prevention and trauma. And then it was just like, bam, there it was. And one day I was like, I want to make a YouTube channel so that I can, encourage people and help people. There it is. Like, oh, I want to create this discipleship for women who have been through trauma and teach them how to come to the Lord even through trauma. And there it is. Like you can do anything you want to do,
Yeah.
So it's incredible. Um, my I would like to speak to the ladies who have children maybe that haven't gotten their custody back yet. This is like a huge thing that I see. So my children, because my daughter went with my mom as soon as she was born. By the time I did come into recovery and I was stable enough, to take care of her, she was like 10, and my mom lived like an hour away from me, which was like kind of my old stomping grounds.
Yeah.
So my daughter, she still lives with my mom. She's 13, and I get to see her whenever I want to, but she lives with my mom, and my mom is like the mom, right? I'm mommy, but she's
Yeah.
takes care of her, all these things. um so like I know that that can be like really really hard. My son, who is 19, just came to move back in with me like 6 weeks ago.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, so this is like since he was like 2 or 3, the first time that I've got to be like mom. So that's been wonderful and healing, and these kind of things. He even made a couple videos with me, talking about it. So that was really awesome, and just super proud of him for speaking out. So just to the moms, who maybe it's taking a little bit longer to have a relationship with your kids, maybe your family hasn't welcomed you back yet, that's okay. Just continue to do the next right thing, continue moving forward, and keep praying. And like something will shift eventually. Either even if you don't get your kids back, there's purpose for you being a parent.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, they if they lose their kids, they use it as, oh, I gotta just keep going with this and get high because it makes them forget about it, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And they just continue. And it's great that you found sobriety. And so you told people all the positive things. Has it been a rough road getting sober? And like some of the roadblocks that you've encountered during your time getting sober?
Oh
Because
yes.
people hear that you got sober and it's just great, everything's great. They don't understand. It's a lot of work, and it will test you every chance it gets.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, a couple things. First of all, when I was 90 days sober, my mom took permanent custody of my kids from me when I was 90 days sober. That was really hard. That would have been the perfect excuse to go get high, right?
Yeah.
Perfect excuse. But I didn't. I didn't. I leaned into the women, and I said, I'm not going to let this take me down. I'm going to keep going. When I went to get my massage license, you have to go, it's a state licensure, and they're pretty strict to be a massage therapist, right? We're like the only profession that's like, hey, take your clothes off and go face down and I'll be right back. You know what I'm saying? Like, right? So when I went to go get my massage license, of course they do a very extensive background check, and they saw all of it. I was very honest with them, and I had letters of recommendation and all these things. But you know what, they denied me twice for my massage license.
And
And
that almost
then,
devastated you, right?
yes, it was so hard, so hard. But I went back a third time, and I went in person.
What were the denials for your, because of your past?
They said it was because of my school, because my school had closed down, even though I got letters from the teachers, whatever, whatever, whatever. I just know that when I went in person and they could see my face, I knew that all I wanted was to have a career and do the right thing. Then they let me go. I guess that was the right timing. And so, like that also, would have been another reason that I could have gotten high. I will tell you that the later I get in my recovery, so July I'll have 9 years. And
Congratulations.
the later that I get in my recovery, it seems like the more challenging it gets. Because in the beginning, you're very well connected. You're, going to meetings all the time. And then the further in years you get, you have other responsibilities, right? And be, you still have to find your place in recovery. Thankfully, my recovery love language is service, and I do so much service work. I'm like
Yeah.
so connected in that way. But if I didn't have that, I can't tell you that I would still be in recovery today.
Like you
But
still do meetings and things like that?
well, I work on two different board of directors for two different centers. One is a harm reduction. I teach at treatment centers, like so I'm very like in that way. And like serving, all the video stuff that I do, like I don't get like paid for, I mean, I get paid for like some stuff on like my Facebook or whatever, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get paid to be out here doing like interviews on like YouTube and stuff like that.
You
Not
gotta
like that.
monetize the YouTube.
Well, I mean, it's very little. Yeah, it takes a long time.
I know. Trust. I know.
it
I know.
takes a long time to get anything like significant, So, but like service for me. And I mean, I did go do some other meetings, other different support groups and things like that. I was married. I got married October of 2021, and my divorce was final January 2nd.
Did that test
So,
you? That whole experience, did that put you to a test?
oh yes, that was very challenging. I can say that I earned every gray hair on my head in wisdom
Yeah.
that I learned from that marriage, that I will not make the same mistakes again. But it it was not like a super healthy, situation together. So yeah, it was very challenging. I had to really like lean into my faith and lean into my friends, and I was going to meetings kind of frequently during periods of time for sure.
Yeah, because you can be sober and still live like an addictive lifestyle, still live in
Mhm.
that type of lifestyle. They call it like
Yeah.
dry drunk and all that, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Right.
Been
Yes.
there, done all that. And
Yep.
I remember times when I was praying to God, please, I just want to be sober. And now that my prayers are answered, it's a great life. So what advice would you have for the young girls who's out there struggling that's gonna watch this video? What advice would you have for her if she's in the midst of her addiction? What should she do? And
I would say that despite what you believe, you are totally worthy of a good life. You are worthy of living a life that brings you joy and happiness. You are worthy of family and your children and whatever dreams that like aspirations that you want to achieve. Like, you can do that. You don't have to continue going down this road. And I also just want to like urge you that it's just not safe anymore to use drugs. It's not safe anymore. Like, I can't tell you how many of my friends like are not here anymore, and we are fighting a battle. We are like an army, like people here like in recovery and our allies, like we are fighting in a battle to pull people out of this fire, and we need more soldiers. So if you are out there tiptoeing around addiction or struggling, like, immediately get out, because you don't know what is going to happen next. You don't know what that next drug is going to do to you. Everybody I saw this on a Facebook thing, and it said, everybody has a clean date, whether it's on your tombstone or you're posting it on Facebook. Everyone has a clean date, and that's serious.
Yeah, I never thought of it like that. It's insane what's going on in the world of drugs. It really is. But I appreciate you for telling your story, and you're welcome back here anytime. Maybe we'll do a follow up and have a live, and people can ask you questions and things like that. I really appreciate you taking the time. I'll leave a link for all of your stuff in the description of this video too.
Awesome, thank you.
And I'll pin your YouTube.
Thanks.
So, is there anybody out there that you want to give a shout out to before we go?
Oh goodness, yes. I want to give a shout out to Boston 2%. He is the author of Fire and Ice, the Meth Bible. I want to give a shout out to Sonia Johnson, my sister down in Florida. Love her. She's amazing. And Jamie Odom, she's another amazing content creator. Yeah, thank
and
you.
where can people find you? You could just let them know real quick.
Oh, I'm Jamie Tall on all platforms.
Thank you. I appreciate you, and I hope you have a great day. And
Thank you.
I look forward to speaking with you in the future. And if you like this content, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop. And if you don't like this content, too bad. Start your own podcast.